Hello again, everyone. I'm Mike Gastineau, host of Iconic Sonics. Our Iconic Sonics executive producer, Brett Goldberg, had a chance recently to chat with Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban and got some thoughts on the departure of the Sonics in 2008 and the possible return of the team and the NBA to the Emerald City.
Three questions for you on this one. So you, Mark, you were one of two owners, with Paul Allen being the other, who voted against the Sonics moving to Oklahoma City in 2008. Why did you vote that way?
Because they were moving to a small city. No disrespect to OKC. I mean, it's a great sports town, but you know, a small city is just a small city, and I thought Seattle was a better place for an NBA team.
What are the pros and cons as the NBA owners and the commissioner and otherwise think about NBA expansion now? What are the pros and cons of NBA expansion?
It's just math. It really, really is. I think what people don't understand is when you expand and add a new team, instead of a share of all the revenues being 1/30th, it becomes 1/31st. So effectively, you're losing 3% of your share of revenues. And given the how big, you know, and this is all publicly reported, how big the TV numbers are, the shared TV numbers are, you know, 3% of a big number is a very big number. And so, and actually, you know, when we added Charlotte, I tried to explain this to a former owner, and I was like, you don't understand. You're not, you know, they're paying us 300 million, but it's just, you know, they're not really paying us 300 million. They're just loaning us the money, and we're paying it back 1/30th of our TV revenues at a time. And so they're effectively getting the franchise for free. And so in order for it, do you see what I'm saying there, right? Because for the sake of example, if our TV revenues are $1 billion split 30 ways, then each team is making 33 million. If now it's split 31 ways, each team is making 32 million, right? And or 31 million, whatever it is. And so the delta, you divide that into the amount of the franchise fee, and that's, you know, that's the loan you're getting back. So if that loan is in the billions, okay, it's probably worth it because it's going to take forever to take it back, to pay it back. But if it's not just an enormous number, then it's just a loan. And so rather than expanding, you look at moving a team, and, you know, nobody wants to move a team right now.
Have you ever been to a game before 2008, an NBA game in Seattle? You ever watched an NBA game in Seattle? Do you know that Sonics team historically, and do you ever get to games there?
Yeah, before, yeah, because I bought the team in 2000, so I was going there all the time. Yeah, I love going there.
What's your enthusiasm level about the NBA being back in Seattle?
Oh, I love it. I'd love to see it. I mean, it has become a tech town. I mean, it's kind of like San Francisco North. You know, you've got Microsoft, you've got Amazon, you've got other, you know, you've got Starbucks, you've got a bunch of companies that are enormous, and you've got a rabid sports fan base that misses their Sonics. I hear it all the time. And so I think, you know, Seattle would be a great destination for us. The problem is how to get there.
And then in terms of, lastly, that path of how to get there, as an NBA owner for now 22 years and thinking about that, what are the steps that Seattle needs to be taking in order to make themselves as viable of a candidate as possible?
Make a small market team an offer they can't refuse. You know, that's the best I can tell. I really don't know. There's not a simple path to get there. But, you know, again, if franchise fees continue to go up, if franchise sales, continue to go up in price, there probably is an amount that makes an expansion franchise worthwhile to NBA owners. I just don't know what that number is, and it's really not, I don't even know how we get there.
That's Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban with some thoughts on the Sonics, their departure in 2008, the ongoing presence of a rabid fan base that would love the NBA back in the Emerald City, and the possible paths for that to happen someday, the Sonics return to Seattle. Our thanks to Mark Cuban and to Brett Goldberg.